Yes, everybody watching the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If not, an extra little pip in your step today. Happy Monday to you. The weekends go so quickly, but we're back to 2-game weeks with Freiburg and Burnley this week, and then obviously Freiburg and Aston Villa next week. Don't forget, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. West Ham are playing, unfortunately, or fortunately for some people. So keep on just to mark your card, just to mark your card. I think Mrs. Budden, I think we're celebrating it tomorrow on Saturday instead of Sunday. If you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. It's all greatly appreciated. And if you haven't seen it, I had a bit of a let loose, I think is the expression, on I listened back to it just now. Oh dear, a little bit cringy, but hey ho. We've got some great stuff coming up today. Obviously, we're going to do the ratings, which is great to actually do the ratings for a change. We've got Hammer's headlines coming up this afternoon, and then we've got the Academy show coming up late afternoon, early evening. So lots of stuff before then we start getting ready for the Freiburg game, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, we've both had, we've had obviously a better result than Freiburg may have done. They do 2-2 at Freiburg on Friday against Bayern Munich. They were 2-1 down and I think they equalised in the 87th minute. So they came back from behind to get a point. Obviously, we came back behind to win the game. And see, we got the chat. Stefan, obviously, he won. Stefan won one of the. You did win, didn't you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Did you win, Stefan? I can't remember. You did. Can't remember nowadays. It's all gone. I think you won. I think you did. If not, I apologise. But someone won. We had 2 prizes at half time, but I hope you're well. Feels much better for 3 points. It certainly does, mate. Certainly does. Danny, hope you're well. How good afternoon to you, sir. Michael, all support the team, not the individuals. After all, we're all West Ham. We certainly are. You enjoy my rant? Good. I'm glad you did. Scott, good afternoon. Jan, good afternoon to you. Chris, afternoon. Monday's always better. They certainly are. They certainly are. You get up a bit easier on a Monday when you've won a game. It's true. It is true. Cyril, good afternoon. Rani Bubble, I hope you're well. Which manager from the top 6 teams above us should we try and get? Pep Guardiola. Could you imagine how funny that would be? Anyway. And it seems, and again, the results, yes, you did win the Clive Allen. Yeah, I've got it here I'll sort that out this week and get that out to you. Yeah, I mean, the results sort of went our way a little bit as well, didn't they, to be fair? I mean, you look at the results and Man United losing was great for us, and, it was 7th. And, we welcome, I know we'll have the European game in between, but we welcome a Burnley side who aren't doing great at the moment, to be honest. They've lost quite a few. Looks like they're going to have to get rid of a lot of players in the summer out of contract. Maybe where the others were like Luton and sides like that seem to have a bit of a fight. I just don't see Burnley ever have that fight in them yet. Knowing that, they come to West Ham. So welcome, West Ham. It's not beyond the realms of possibility for us to lose on Sunday. Good afternoon, Peter. Hope you're afternoon. Ludder's still buzzing, and the women, they did indeed. We'll talk about that Hammers headlines. Great draw against Man United. They needed that as well. They've had, they had a good couple of results and a couple of bad results in the international break. And so now it's good for them to get back into winning, well, not winning ways, but get some points on the board. Good week also for the under-21s as well. Goal of the week went to Rashford. I'll give it to Souček. More skill involved. Does anyone know the last time West Ham scored in John Hartson? John Hartson was the last person. Bowen, as I said, no, actually, he didn't. Tell a lie. John Hartson didn't score. No, we haven't had anyone who scored 20 Premier League goals for us. John Hartson scored 26 goals, I think, that season, but they weren't all in the Premier League. Let me have a look. I'll tell you exactly, because I did a thing about it the other day. He scored 24 in the goals in the 96 97, 98 season, but only 15 of them were in the Premier League. The most we've ever scored in the Premier League is 16 by Paolo Di Canio. So that just shows you how well Bowen is doing in terms of goals this season. You know, he's in essence 2 away from equaling our all-time Premier League haul. That's impressive. Considering he's not a striker as well, that's even more impressive. Not really a striker. I thought he was. No, the last one would have been Hartson. To score 20. Or not actually top flight goals. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Sorry, I misread that. Yeah, it would have been Cotti or Maka, wouldn't it? Cotti, how many did he get that season? He got in the league. He got 22 in the 86-87 season. He got 22 goals. This previous season, he got 20. So Cotti, and I think that outperforms Maka because Maka got more of that in the 85-86, but not in the other one. If I'm right, let me just check. I like to see my numbers. Yeah, in terms of the last time we've scored 20 goals in a league, would have been in a championship under Harewood and Sheringham, the 04-05, I think it was. Maka scored 85-86. He scored 26 goals in the following season. He scored 7. Yeah. Afternoon, Jay. Hope you're well. Bowen will have a field day versus. Let's hope so, my friend. How many injury goals has Souček scored? Got to be record. Yeah, but I don't care. They're all coming in it. I do not care, my friend. But you're probably right. He has scored a lot of those injury goal. You know, but it's usually a header, isn't it? Not like a goal like that on Saturday. That was special, wasn't it? And you know, and again, you know, match of the day, they picked it out, and rightly so, and looked at it in a bit more detail. And you saw how he had to, you know, for someone who we don't think's particularly gifted, you know, to do what he had to do, to chest it down, to get in position, and to hit it on the outside of the right foot to curl it into the top. Mental. David Gosby, good fit now under Moyes ball. Yeah, would be definitely would be a good channel for those long balls. How much would that pass? Oh. But the thing is, we don't have partnerships nowadays, do we? They tend to be trios. They tend to be a centre forward and the left side, right side. They don't tend to be like Liverpool got their 3, haven't they, when they all play? Or even actually more so beforehand when they used to have, you know, Firmino and Salah and stuff and Mane. But they don't really have partnerships anymore now, do we? It tends to be one up front, unfortunately. It's a shame, isn't it? How did Stu on Saturday? Does anyone know? He did all right. Phillips did all right. Has equaled the 90 plus goals scored with Wenger now. Really? Wow. Thomas Lardo, Součekski. Good afternoon. Phil, you're a bit harsh on the fans this morning. I've been wanting Moyes out since before the Winter World Cup. I know I was told to sit down and shut up. No, I haven't. I think you underestimate what I said, Gaz. I don't criticise you for being Moyes out at all in terms of, I don't criticise people for being Moyes in. What I do criticise is when people get called out for just stating their opinion on both sides of the argument, on both sides. So if we take Saturday for an example, you know, look at Ryan Archer from West Ham Fan TV on Twitter, great win, Then he had a barrage of abuse, of which he had to send about 3 or 4 tweets to sort of almost validate what he was thinking. That's what I thought. That's for me why I was so I wasn't being harsh on fans like you at all, Gaz, because you've always, you know, and similarly, if people want to change their mind, they're allowed to. You're a human being. If you change your mind, then fair play, you know. So that's what I was saying. I do say we all West Ham. We do indeed. Was involved in the setup for the second goal, trapped the ball clearance before he did indeed use your Moyes ball, but this time couldn't take chances. Awful watch again. It wasn't great. To up to Duncan, morning, afternoon to you. I know, but I just wanted to make a point because you said I was trying not to. Indeed, I wanted to make that point. And if I did make that point, I apologise. I'm not digging out people who are Moyes out. I'm not digging out people who are Moyes in. All I'm digging out is people who then criticise some of us for voicing their opinion. And Saturday sort of highlighted that for me. You know, a lot of people were excited because they're happy because we won a game. We won a game. And then to be vilified because they're happy because they won a game even if they might be Moyes out and say, "Oh, we won, brilliant," and then people go, "Oh, but I thought you was Moyes out." That shouldn't. That's not right. That's not right. Easy, Russ. Ignore it's very true. It's very true. The thing is, Russ, I was pro Allardyce when a lot weren't insane. Yeah. So, it's swings and roundabouts, Gaz, isn't it? Don't care if you're always out. You're indeed, Larry. And that was the point. That's what I was trying to say. Regardless of what side of the fence you're in, the chances are nothing's going to happen until the summer. And we want to make sure West Ham win games, even if it's not going to be pretty for the next 10 games, 12 games or so. We want West Ham to win games because whoever comes in, or if Mr. Moyes stays as first team coach, they'll have a higher amount of money to spend because they'll have higher league positions. They could be in Europe again as well. And so it means we can attract better calibers of players and stuff like that. That's what I was trying to get to the point. After this show, love the video. Sufal singing Areola. Yep. He's funny, he's Sufal. And actually, I think it's Big Dave put on Twitter saying, something like, when will Sufal ever score a goal? Or do you think Sufal will ever score a goal for West Ham? And he responded saying, what a great question. Don't forget Tommy Souček. Tommy Souček never scored for West Ham. I think he is the person with the most games, if I'm right. Where is it? I think he's got the most games. Why is my thing not working today? Why is it not working? I believe he's got I don't know what it's working yet. But he had the most games, I think, without scoring a goal. I think. We need to drop Souček and Zuma. Needs 4 more wins from the 12 to hit his own KPI. Indeed. You can't argue that Moyes is a good manager, but times have moved on. He hasn't, so thanks for his achievement. You're probably right. Ken. Probably right. He's the last bastion of the old school manager, really, isn't it? I mean, Roy was there as well, but Roy's gone now. And he probably is the last bastion of that old school manager, hard to beat, compact. Actually, that's Sean Dyche's as well, I suppose. We ate all West Ham. Yes, we are all West Ham, not 8. I've done enough of that in my lifetime. I'm on the fence. Sometimes it's better there when it is, mate. It is, and that's your prerogative, as people would always say. So it's up to you. Welcome to 24. When having an opinion or actually discussing a difference of opinion without being shouted at, is there everything? I blame Millwall. You're just as bad, Greeno, aren't you? Everyone I bet he's a Millwall fan. But it's true. It is true. Doesn't he need only 3 more? Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, he said 5 wins, isn't it? So he's got 3. Good point. Moyes in the same group as Rafa. Yeah, he is. Yeah, and mate, I mean, obviously they've been a lot more successful in terms of winning stuff. But why is that not working? I'm pretty sure it is Tommy Repka. He played? I mean, he never scored for West Ham. Let's have a look. He never scored for West Ham, did he, Tommy Repka? And he played something ridiculous, like a ridiculous number of games. Where is it? Repka. Tommy Repka, 188 appearances, no goals. So, yeah, I believe, pretty sure he's the top man who hasn't scored. Was the best he's ever scored for us. Yeah, it was. Sufal's got 139, so he's got about another 40 games. If he makes that, I don't think he will do. He might do. Anyway, let's do the ratings. As we said, we did it last week. I think Anton did the ratings the other day for the Brentford game. We do the ratings. I give you my thoughts. You give me your views, and then we all disagree. That's basically but we all have different opinions, and that's the world we live in. And we all should be able to voice them. Anyway, let's talk about Alphonse Areola, shall we? There, let's go full screen. Man Mountain, superb all afternoon. Let's be honest, made a big save on the penalty. Actually, a big save with Beto. Then obviously you had the penalty save. Man of the match. There's no denying it. He was man of the match. He was phenomenal, and we were, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have won that game. In all honesty, but we had him, and we did win the game. That was what I was trying to say. But he was absolutely world class. There's no doubt, and sometimes I question his, his communication. I think even sometimes at the Everton game, there was a bit of a lack of communication. I don't think he shouts as much as other keepers do. But do you know what? He did well. I think we should enjoy wins in Europe while it lasts. Yeah, indeed. I mean, Danny, you listened to Ped from Toffee TV when I spoke about playing on a Thursday. Went, I'd love to have played on a Thursday now. He recalls all those great times he had with under David Moyes, ironically, playing in European football. They would swap their granny to that position again. Good afternoon, Matt. Russ Dave Moyes definitely staying to see and see. No one have to see. Indeed. With my Moyes, if he won for us, what? Yeah, true. Got a feeling the players had one eye on Thursday, but still a nice win. West Ham 11th, 8 on to win. Freiburg 7-10. Interesting 10-9. I reckon Suchek what was better. Yeah, it was a good goal actually. 6-point highest rating stat. It was indeed 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 11, 10, 10. Well, maybe I've been a bit harsh, but I gave him a 9. I gave him a 9. Gave him a 9. Gave him a 9. Gave him a 9. Man of the match, though, obviously. Man of the match. Let's talk about Vladimir. As we said, hasn't scored for West Ham in 139 appearances. I don't think he will. And yeah, relatively steady, I thought, enough at right back. I mean, I don't think his crosses were really. Thing was, when he was crossing, he had Bowen against James Tarkowski and Gerald Braithwaite. So, he really wasn't. They weren't doing the right thing for the opposition in terms of who we were playing. I think Bowen was relatively nullified for the whole game, in all honesty. But he had a competent game. No half points in this game, Virginia. 6. Maybe our top assister of the last 20 years. 7 and 6s was definitely man of the match. Give him 9, 7, bread and butter, 6, solid but not spectacular, 7. So it looks like 6s and 7s. Ironically, I gave him a 6. I thought it was an okay game for him. Bread and butter. Solid but not spectacular. Should be our entry for Eurovision this year, isn't it? Isn't it Ryan? So no, it's not. It's the guy from what's the band? He's an actor as well. He's our one for Eurovision. That's going to annoy me now. Kurt Zuma, 2-game week for Kurt. I think against probably some of our better judgment. To be honest, we thought that he wasn't going to get 2 games in, but he did. Obviously, he's penalised for the handball, which I thought was relatively half, but was bailed out by Areola, of course. Made amends arguably later on with a good header against his former club. Didn't do the celebration. Didn't celebrate, but even doing he's celebrating though, innit? It's like, I'm deliberately not celebrating, but I am celebrating. I scored a goal. I hate that. I'd rather them just walk back rather than, no, I'm not celebrating, because that is a celebration. But yeah, okay game for him. I thought the centre-backs were a little suspect for much of the game, to be honest. The fact with Areola having so many shots to save doesn't, it sort of goes hand in hand with the defence, not maybe doing as much and protecting him as much. Maybe. Get years and years. Thank you. That was it. Not Danny Dye. No. 4. Can I get those thumbs up? Listen to the others. If West Ham won on Saturday, give it a thumbs up. 6 for Capicanto. 6 good header, but scares me when the ball at the feet. Always has. And walkabout like Aborigine for the first. What a random thing to say in terms of going walkabouts. I suppose, yeah. Australian, yeah, give you 7, just 2 games. 7, 6, 7. 5 Dino pushes him onto the corner for the goal. He did, if you watched it. I went with a 6. 6 for Kurt Zuma. But interesting to see what happens on Thursday, really. Let's talk about Konstantinos Mavropanos, Dinos, to his friends. Again, I think similar to Zuma, really. I mean, he went complete. I mean, talking about going walkabout, he went completely walkabout for Beto's goal, to be honest. I mean, he panicked a bit at the ball as well. I didn't think he had a fantastic game at all. Yeah, I mean, he had an okay game, but again, I think there's so many shots on target. I thought he was very similar to Zuma in terms of his performance, possibly. What we got here? 7, 8, 6, 7. More Greek salad than a gyros. 6 covered all the game just as a Gerd does. 7. That's why I wanted Gerd and Mavropanos playing together. And it won't happen because Zuma's the captain. But I just think they would just they complement each other a lot better. 6, strong enough, but concentration needed. 7, few messy passes, but no jump for their goal. Totally missed it. TB, afternoon to you, son. Nobody was anywhere near better. Great cross, to be fair. Yeah, but it doesn't matter about the cross. If you're marking, if you track the runner who's behind you, if you track the runner, regardless of the cross, you can get in front of him. 6. Glenn, hope you're well, aka Mush. 7. I gave Mavropanos a 5. Am I being a bit harsh? Yeah, I'll give it 6. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. I've upgraded it to a 6. Emerson, it's still Emerson. I think first half there was more of a threat from him. That's for sure. I think he clearly plays happier with Paqueta in front of him. I think he plays better with a Gerd behind him, rather than Zuma. It wasn't. I don't think it was as much of a barnstorming game as it was against Brentford. I thought Brentford he had a phenomenal game. Here, I thought we had an okay game. They were getting a bit of a joy down the left-hand side because trouble is the way Paqueta plays, he does drift in a little bit, and it gives that left-hand side, that sort of left back or right wing for the opposition, a lot of space usually. And so I do feel sorry for him sometimes. He almost has to play as a sort of left wing and as a left back as well. But yeah, a reasonable game for him. Not his best, I don't think. 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7. Interplays worth the price of admission. 8, 7, 6. Looked tight at times. Kieran, good day to you, son. Hope you're well. Sounds a sound, but didn't pull up trees. 6, 7. Arguably our best signing. I'm inclined to agree. I gave him a 6. I agreed with Michael, really. It was both our fullbacks, I think 6s was fair result for me. Not spectacular, but not awful. If you don't remember a defender playing, it's usually because they've done their job. If you remember a defender playing, it's either they've done really shit or really good. Or, it's sort of like, did he? I don't remember how much he did. Usually it means he's did something. He did his job. He did the what was expected of him. Let's talk about Tommy Souček, shall we? Let's talk about Tommy Souček. The renaissance of Tommy Souček in the last 2 games has been crazy, really. And come back to your question later on, Scott. Absolutely crazy, really. He not only did he score that worldie, and it was a worldie. I mean, if Haaland or Salah or Saka had scored that goal, it'll be replayed a million times. Because it was Tommy Souček, it won't be. And that's a travesty because it doesn't matter who did that shot, who played that, it was a fantastic goal to sort of run backwards and chest it in the right spot, drop to his foot and then hit it on the volley on the outside of his right foot and curl it. It's a shot we all love to play. Used to do at school with those Chad Valley balls, and it would go and it'd be amazing. But to do it in the 89th or 90th minute, something like that, mental. But not only that, that clearance off the line. So he was doing it at both ends. He was at both ends. And I just think he's really last couple of games. Don't know why, but he's improved so much. Needs to be dropped to 50 pence. 9, maybe a 10 for the goal on clearance. 8 best season. Well, it is. I mean, he scored 9 goals for us. I believe that's his highest tally. I think. I think it was previously 8. Let me just check. Tommy Souček. No, sorry, 10. He scored 10 in the 2021 season. So now he's on 9 with still 12 games left. But interestingly enough, obviously, that 2021 season because he joined in January. He'd already been knocked out of the cup. That was all in the Premier League. 8-7 for Lamppost and Wheels. 9 was decent last few games. 6 was 1, 7, 10, 7. World class finish. How's Guinness? All of them. Fair play. Look better when allowed to go forward. 7. How many goals is that for him? It's 9 goals this season. Factor with Souček meant it should be played more than it should do, but he won't be. 9. Did he have 10? Yeah, he did. 2021, he had 10 goals, which was his first full season. No, Teller, yeah, that's right. His first full season. He didn't score in any of the cups. Did he score in any of the cups? No, didn't score in any of the cups. Sorry, the first season, the half season, he scored 3 goals. Then he scored 10 goals, and then 6, 3, and then 9 at the moment. 8 for Lee. Russie B also gives him an 8. Fair play, Tommy Souček. Well done, Shan. Let's talk about Edson Alvarez. Tell you what, some great performances, I think, all round. Got stuck in, was a nuisance in that midfield, and just the gut-busting run to get the night, in injury time, just to run the whole length of the pitch alongside Bowen. Fantastic finish off the outside of his right foot, little dink over the top. Beautiful finish, such composure. We are, when he's not playing, we are a mere shadow of a different side when he's not there. It was interesting to see, thinking about, obviously the signing of Calvin Phillips, the likelihood is he's very close to getting his 10th booking this season, which means he's out for 2 games. And having someone like Calvin on the bench we can put on is actually not bad at all, really. Right, Alvarez 9. God knows how he got the energy. 9. Well, he's El Machine, isn't he? 9, 8. How good is El Machine? Simply makes us tick. Touch from Phillips at the start of the movement needs a mention. It does, mate. So obviously, it was the first back. They came back to Phillips. He touched, then went back to Kudus. I mean, was it class is permanent. It doesn't matter even if you're having a shit season. If you're a good player, it comes out. And I think Phillips now, if we need to utilise the fact that we've got, he's very much seen as a squad player. And, as I said, Alvarez will get another yellow card. He'll probably get on against Burnley. And if that, he's going to miss the Villa game and was it Spurs? I can't remember. Where someone like Phillips' experience in that midfield is critical. 9, 9, 9. Just for the run and goal. 8, 9, 9, 8. Number 41. Who? 9, 11. Our best side. No, 11. Can't get 11 out of 10. Anyway, 8 for me. I thought, yeah, he was good, and then that goal just topped it for me at the end. Let's talk about James Ward-Prowse. JWP, Shun. I thought he did a lot. And again, a lot of pressing off the ball. And that's what I noticed about him against Brentford. There was a lot of running and pressing off the ball, which might not have always got detected if you're watching it on the telly. Just always happens, unfortunately. But you could see when I was watching the game, I could see, you could see him doing a lot of pressing off the ball. And, back on it with set pieces as well. Another assist for Zuma. Does that put him still as England's top goal contributor this season? Maybe after Foden, maybe, I don't know. But he certainly is doing very well. And it's nice to see us get a set piece goal as well for once. Right, let's have a go. What we got here? We'll play Thursday against Freiburg, I think. Possibly. Having a world-class goal makes all the difference to a team. Yep, would not surprise me if he's approached and someone by some of the other. Possibly how. But I think, you got to think, you look around, Man City, they're sorted now. They've got their goalkeeper. Liverpool got what's his name? Man United have got a Nana. If they got rid of him, then that shows that they made a mistake by getting him. Arsenal, I was reading a report today, which is linking us with Ramsdale rather. I don't know how that would work. because Fabian's is here for another year. So no, but I know what you mean. 7-5-5-7-7. Rest Alves against Burnley so we can play against Villa where it will be needed. Yep, good shout. 6-7-6 worked hard. 7 had some interplay. 6 when we get a free kick. I mean, he's only scored 18 free kicks in his entire time playing for Southampton and West Ham. So I think that's like one every 20 games or something, like 30 games or something like that. So yeah, it's not loads. 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Very generous. Ramsdale cost about 30 plus out of our range. Would do, but it was just being linked. That was all. I gave Jay Ward's Prowse a 6. I thought 6. Good again, a solid game. Solid game. I think solid for me is a 6. Let's talk about Mohamed Kudus. I thought he was clearly not man-marked as such, but double-teamed, sometimes triple-teamed, pretty much all the time. So when he did have the ball, he's ferocious, isn't he? You can't push him off the ball. He's so strong. He was denied later on by scrabbling Pickford. He had a shot outside the box when it's second half. Skipped beyond the fullback a few times, but then the next step he would get double teamed and stuff, and he will be doing that. He's going to get targeted now because it's clear people know he's a good player, and so that tends to happen with these. They tend to get targeted, and they'll get double teamed and stuff, and it's up to him to judge how to get out of that. But also, it means that surely if he's been double teamed, then there's going to be space for someone else, and that's how you utilize it. 5, 8. 8 was scared of Kudus. 8 scares teams. 8, 7, 8, 7, 7. We were doubled up on most of the game. Yep, they were. For me, I gave him a 7 as well. I thought it wasn't his best game at all. I just thought that again, he's gonna have to learn and adapt to how he gets out of those situations where he does get double teamed, because that will continually happen, and the better teams will identify him as a threat, and therefore will double up on him. Will sort of tag team him, so to speak, in order for that to happen. Yeah, agreed. Never stops. Yeah, it's a great. He never does. He never stops running, which is what you want. That's what you want in your player. Let's talk about Lucas Paqueta. There's no one better than our Brazilian Magnifico, of course. Again, same to me. Same with Kudus, really. He loves to take the ball under pressure. But I thought he was a little looser, on Saturday than he was against Brentford. I still think that he's not quite there yet physically. It's almost like he's still feeling his way back from injury. But it was a relatively quiet game for him, in all honesty. But I just thought that, it's his presence on there is more than anything. Him being on the pitch gives us as fans a bit more reassurance that, you've got a bit of va-va-voom. And what was interesting, what was great to see was, in a weird way, our second and third goal, he was on the pitch. Both those goals, it's not like we don't have to have Lucas Paqueta to score goals. Yes, it was there was a corner for the equaliser, JWP, and he was on the pitch then. But for obviously Suchet's goal and for Alvarez's goal, he wasn't on the pitch, and that's encouraging for me. That's encouraging. Right, let's have a look. What a joy to have a player like Paqueta. Simply superb to watch. Can't wait to watch Kudus versus Walker. Interested to see if Taggart tinkers with the team for Thursday or sticks about 70-80 that played Saturday. No idea. 5, 6, 8. Quiet game, probably 100 feet. Looks tired. He will shine in Europe. Not his game. So a 7 is an issue. He does not have the required turn and sprint speed over 5 meters, which he showed a few times Saturday. I think for me, he doesn't play on Thursday, and hopefully we'll see again. And Mavropanos potentially. I think Mavropanos is more than fit enough to play a 2-game week. if worst comes to worst, we would have Ugbonna and Aged. I don't really like Aged playing on the right hand side of a back two, but he would do. That's the case. Just because I think when he's had the really bad games, when he's playing on the right hand side next to Ugbonna. So we'll see what happens. Still touch class 7. 7 didn't have that good a game. 7 just being there, not his best. 6, 7, 7, 6, 7. If Pac-Man leaves in summer, who do you want to replace him? I think we'd have to think about it. I think you'd have to think, could we get away, not get away with, but would it make more sense to replace him with a shit hot left winger and move Kudus into 10 role, potentially? I mean, there's lots of players we've been linked with. I mean, even today, we've been linked with Dybala from Roma. I mean, you know, it's not really a like for like, but, you know, he's got that sort of swagger. I think we'd have to trust in the process in terms of if he does go up, which he probably will do, in all honesty. What happen? You know, how's that money spent? I'd rather us reallocate that to rather than get a direct replacement, a bit like we've done with Declan Rice. We didn't get a Declan Rice replacement. We didn't go out and get someone who could probably do that role like Milenkovic Savic or someone like that. We went and we invested it in a few really good players to improve the squad. And that's the same with Paqueta. When he leaves, if we get 85, we'll minimum of 85 million pounds for him. How's that money reallocated? For me, that's 3 good players, 3 30 million pound players, which could massively improve the squad. It could be, you know, or we invest it, we can get like a shit hot right back, a shit hot left winger, and then maybe a good forward player as well. Straight away, that side looks completely different, and it would have improved. For the money we will get, you can buy 2 world class players. Yep, great shout. Well done. Yeah, we're talking about Hammers headlines. Cornet to replace. Cornet's gone, mate. I gave him a 6. Yeah, it wasn't his best game for me. And finally, let's talk about Jared Bowen, who again I thought was relatively inconspicuous with his with just with how he would just seem to the game. See, this is when it doesn't work when he plays that sort of forward role. When you're up against 2 very, very good big centre halves. And that's the trouble. And that's why we need to have some sort of ability to change things around a little bit for when it's not appropriate. Sometimes that Brentford game, perfect. That was a perfect game for Bowen to play up front. The chances are Bowen goes to Euros, he's going to be playing right wing. He ain't going to be playing up front anyway. So that to me precipitates? No. Whatever the word is. Him staying in that position. I thought relatively ineffective for most of that game. You know, it didn't work. Didn't work. But then when that's when he's backs to goal. When he's turning and running, there's no denying he's one of the best in the Premier League when he turns and runs at players. When he's got his back to goal, that's not his role. It's not what he's good at. What he's good at is getting the ball and running at defenders, whether it's fullback or whether it's the centre halves. And you saw perfectly weighted ball for Alvarez and the little dink. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant it was. What we got? Does buy it clause? It doesn't matter, Michael. Once we've got the money in, we're relatively in a good spot at the moment in terms of finances. So if needed to get Jonathan Rowe, not on a forward, Jonathan Rowe would be a good shout. 6, Jim Bowen. Still think we need 2 good centre halves. Yep, we do. 6, don't forget, obviously Bonner goes, isn't it? And we probably will get rid of one Azuma or a Gad. I reckon in the summer. 6. Do you think Bowman's still running on injury? Possibly, but I just thought when you've got 2 very, very good defenders, which James Sikorsky and Jared Braithwaite they're very good defenders and big lads. They just basically chewed him up. That's what they did. and there was no plan B. And then when Antonio came on, he ended up starting left wing. Actually, I thought I was going to say, I thought get Antonio right up the front and just start bashing into James and bashing into Jared, make a bit of a physical battle of it, and then that frees up the space for Bowen and Kudus to run in either side. 7 quiet game marked out of it. And did not get the service set up the front, set the third. He did. Lots of running, closing down, ineffective. Maybe Patman's friendship with Emerson may encourage him to stay, possibly. Bowen, quiet game apart from that run at the end. What amazes me on match today is how they decided not to show some of our chance in the first half. Well, Pete, I mean, to be honest, it wasn't that great, let's be honest. It was all Everton, to be fair, wasn't it? Couldn't get past those big boys, but set up lovely. Doubt he gets inside. He doesn't play for a greedy 6. But you look at, as I said, him and Dominic Solanke, both of them are on 14 goals, and only Haaland and Salah have scored more in the Premier League. Plus, you put into account Bowen's assists as well. He'll be one of the top goal contributors in the Premier League, I'd say. I reckon. 6. Here's on for you, Patman Leeds. How about some Ross Barkley? Before you say no. No, he's been outstanding. I mean, I think Man United were looking at him because of their Enos's relationship with Nice, and obviously he went to Nice, didn't he? He's doing very well at Luton, and a chance they'll be going down, so we're looking to get rid of. Can't see other players score. Great, it is in great. Sorry, great to see other people scoring. 6, maybe Patman's friendship. Yep. Russ, is it concerning Areola is our best performing player considering how many shots? No, it doesn't. He doesn't really. That was the point of my video this morning, really talking a little bit about that, because at the end of the day, you pay big money to buy players who will win you games. Someone's in the first chat higher up, the likes of United, City, Liverpool. They've got world class goalkeepers who can win them the games, and they do. And Areola won us that game, and he's won us a few games this season. In the same way that, I think it was the Wolves game at London Stadium. Paqueta won us that game with 3 assists. There is a concern that we are letting him have a lot of shots, but from a shot perspective, he's one of the best shot stoppers in the Premier League. And if they're keeping those shots from outside the box, there's, it's the ones where they are within the 6-yard box, which is a little bit worrying. But we've always had we've always had particularly over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, we've had a good run. Even 4 or 5 years, we've had a good run at goalkeepers. Fabianski and Areola, 2, Premier League top goalkeepers. Of course, I'd love him to have less shots, but he kept him out. Kept him out against Everton. Yes, he could have. He could have been a cricket score. It could have been, but it wasn't this time. Not saying it won't be next week. Not saying it won't be the week after. But against Everton, it wasn't. And that's the point I was trying to make the other day. This morning, rather, was that, when we've won a game, enjoy the fact we won a game, and some people will say, as I said, some people say, oh, great win. And then straight the next comment is, yeah, but if it wasn't for Areola, let the person enjoy they just want to just voice the fact they're happy. Let them be happy. Neil Mopai, it means he wouldn't score against us, though. That's good. If we can have an injury-free run to his end season, we can have a good finish. I totally agree. Josh Sargent from Norwich. I think Brentford are looking at him and Brighton. Yep, there we go. Andy Miles. Bloody hell. God, voice from the past. Hope you're, mate. Late our goals on Sunday. Indeed, at injury time will be selected by media only. Question: it will get 20 plus goals, 14 with 11, 12 Premier League games plus. If you talk about Premier League games, then obviously he's got 6. So he needs 6 more goals. Be tough though. Has 50. Yeah, sorry. What? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, right. Sorry. I tell you why. Because someone was talking about it. You are totally right. I had Solanke in my head because Ollie Watkins is pretty much all set up for the Wasp name. You're totally right. He's going to be, but it's that next spot, and it's either going to be, I think, Solanke or it's going to be Bowen. You're totally right, though. Yeah. I mean, there's how many has he got? How many has Bowen got? How many assists? How many assists has Bowen got? Stats. Players. Where's my players? Players. There we go. Jared Bowen. this season has Bowen's on fire. He's shagging Danny Dyer. He's got 14 assists. That's 14 goals. Where's his assists? I've got going to the other. That's crap, isn't it? How shit's that? I've got going to the assists one now. And let's put in clubs. West Ham United's. Bowen's got 3 assists. That's surprising. I've had more. But anyway, so important to get wins over Brighton is tough. Yep, totally right. Totally right. Thought it's a team game. How many points have we won because of? Yep, I agree. That was my point. Alvarez from great left back. Fan, what a great cross for that guy, the equaliser. He's a very good player. And again, homegrown as well. So I think a few clubs will be looking at him come the summer. Top keepers will have 10 points a season. We have 2. Totally agree. He's having my Haven Mullins season indeed. That Morris isn't a bad. No, I think no, not Morris. No, I don't think. I think he's. What's the word? I can't think of it, Tom. It's the same as saying you're score 3 and you win 3. Yeah, totally right, Mark. And that's what I was trying to say, Milesy, about it all. I think the game on Sunday will win 4-0. Let's get Thursday out of the way first. Quality soccer can be doing soon in relegation mid-table. Everyone team needs one indeed. Reckon Barrett going at 20 as European experience. I actually am too busy in my new job to join lunchtimes, but don't have lunch till 2:30. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy, for letting me know about your meeting schedule. But we're the worst team in the league for shots saved. You can guess who's around us. But the trouble is, it's like, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying on this morning. With statistics, you can look at everything. We're in like the bottom 4 for short passes or possession, average possession. But then everyone around us are in the relegation zones in those positions, and we're 7th. So we are buck. So Moyes does buck the trend. I grant you, and that's the issue. He is probably the last of that sort of hard to beat. Him and Sean Dyche, we can do it. And I think that's what frustrates people. I know what you mean, though. I got shut down Facebook and banned saying it won us the game and saved us embarrassment. And then the Moyes is back have returned. But Mike, you're one of the first ones when it goes the other way, mate, isn't it? Why don't you? Those in glass houses, isn't it? But you're totally right. I totally agree. He did win us that game. No denying the fact at all. No denying the fact at all. Need to use the bench on Sunday to get best players, possibly. But do we really have much of the bench? That's a trouble now, isn't it? I think it's gonna. For me, it's about getting a good. Is setting. I'd go strong against Freiburg, and then try and keep. Make sure we're winning the game. In an ideal situation, and then pull them off, so to speak, as it actually says to the Bishop, and then pull off the main, the main dudes for Sunday. That's the only way you can really do it. I think we probably will. I don't think Zuma will play. Obviously, Fabianski comes in for Areola. Maybe Ben Johnson for Soufal, maybe. But the rest, I think, will go as strong as we can. Maybe Antonio might get a start. Maybe. But we'll talk about that later on. Anyone excited for the second leg at home? I am as well, because, you see, it could be the last time. It could be the last time we're in European football for a long time. Could be, couldn't it? It is annoying, but the 5:45 kickoff. I'll be honest, I am very frustrated about that. And I think a lot of people are, particularly when they bought the tickets and it said, it was the 8:00 game. And unfortunately, that is beyond West Ham's control. That has been summoned down by UEFA. And it's a fact that actually the teams to blame for it are all the English teams and all the German teams, because basically there's so many of them in the last round, and so many of us qualified for the one in the group as well. So the likes of Leverkusen, the likes of us, the likes of Liverpool, Brighton, because we all did that. Obviously, vis-a-vis, we get the second leg last at home. So that was the issue there. We got Moyes ball is better than Dyche ball. Should drop and bar from bench in as he isn't staying. I agree. If you don't sign the deal, then actually, stay in the under 21s. I think we have to be more. I said this before. We have to be more ruthless as a football club. We shouldn't let players dictate, this is the offer. If you don't want to sign it, fair enough. See you later, mate. We're not going to be like hold to ransom. Same as Ben Johnson's team, 60 grand a week for Ben Johnson seems about 10 grand, 15 grand at least more too excessive for me, but we'll see. Colder than Moyes' heart. Do a clock play the Cleans against Freiburg? Yeah, it won't happen 50p, will it? Matt, anyone need a ticket at home? I suppose tell me. There's no chance you're getting over, son. Not at all, Sean. 6 o'clock. Oh, that's all right for you. So if we get through, it is a free fall. So free fall. We can get anyone. So we could get Brighton next round, or we could buy Leverkusen next round. It is anyone because we get to the last 8. So Barmer will end up like Perkins and then Gakia, 2 weeks of boots, nothing. But I don't think it's for me. I think a lot of it is the agents. That's the issue for me. I think a lot of it is the agents. And believing hype. We'll talk about it tomorrow, later on tonight, with the Academy show and Callum Marshall. But that just seems like a complete waste of an opportunity in terms of him going to West Brom, in my humble opinion. And I think it's the same to some of the players. It's not easy to get into a first team. Particularly David Moyes' first team, but it's not anyone in the Premier League. It ain't easy. There's only 11 players who can start. There's only a squad of 20, and even that, only five off the bench can come on as well. So, it's difficult, and I think you need to bide your time. And see, the frustrating thing for me is Barnes would be better suited to have signed a deal, gone out on loan, and had 4 or 5 months playing for Colchester or whatever, and just get it under his belt. At the moment, his progression is actually less than it would be for Callum Marshall. Yes, he's not getting a lot of game time, but he's around the first team squad all the time. He is getting some minutes. I just don't think that. I just think I think he's been advised really badly. Anyway, what we got here? If you still up, would we be challenging top 4? Would we be challenging top 4? Are you saying, is that the assumption, Stu, that we're challenging now for the top 4? If we stayed up to part, we'd be I don't think we'd attracted, personally, just me speaking, we might not have attracted the same caliber of players that we have like now. Possibly. I don't know. Hindsight's a great thing. Obviously, you've got the romanticism and the story and the heritage and history about Upton Park. But for someone like Mohamed Kudus, for example, London Stadium is an impressive stadium when you walk into it. It is. It's not got, obviously, the heritage and all the 99 years or whatever before, in terms of history. But for a lot of modern players now, it's about playing in big modern stadiums. It is really. You're probably not saying with the English-based players. So JWP would have probably played for us if he was at Upton Park or at London Stadium. But maybe the likes of Paqueta, maybe the likes of Kudus might not have joined us. Don't know. I do not know. It will be a toughie. Roll keep away from English teams. Yep, indeed. He won't. He doesn't. Not any time in history. It would be silly to roll the dice at this stage of the career. Be gobsmacked. He won't end up at a better side than West Ham. He won't do. That's not saying he won't go to West Brom, or he won't go to a Southampton, or he won't go to a Luton, or Ipswich, or Norwich. But what I'm saying is, he's like, and yeah, he might score a few goals. But I just think it was it's too early for him to get that. And we've seen it. We've seen it with the likes of, Ngakia. We've seen it. I mean, even like Ashby went out has got it on loan. And what's happening in between? They bought Livramento, who is going to be ahead of him after Kieran Trippier on the right back position. So, in fact, where he left probably second choice, maybe. He's returning third choice. I just think it's, not many. You're right. I mean, I went through ages ago all the players who have left. And I don't think in the last 10 years or so, there's been one we've gone, See, Josh had to come back and go around, and by fortune of Burnley taking on company, he became a Premier League player, which is great to see. And obviously, we'll be welcoming him back on Sunday, won't we? Which is great to see. Big West Ham fan is Josh. He was a very good professional at West Ham. That's what Potsy always used to say about him. Still very much in contact with him. But you look for the signing Gakia. You look at, Julian Baptiste. He's sort of back. He's sort of at Man City now. But again, didn't play when we played City the other day. That he was walking around pitch, on the sidelines. So I think there's definitely. I think you're right, mate. You look at Grady and Garner and people like that. What kind of do we get for making a lot? But I'm not really thinking about Europa. If we get to the final, I'll be very surprised. I'll be honest, very surprised. See, Downs played after missing. He did. But he went off, and then they won. They got the winner. We do it at Hammers headlines. Should we left back, spend money elsewhere? I totally agree. Bad advice. Got he needed to get to a team that would play him. I totally agree. Yep. It's all about Ollie Skulls. He's great. Number 3. 2 assists on Saturday afternoon. Where are our cups kept at the stadium? So I don't know. Don't think Sullivan's interested a bit. Will new investors be given as losing millions? Possibly, we don't know. If you had a better attack-minded manager and one who knows how to use and respect players properly, and who isn't an old buffoon, then we'd be changing top 4 with the players we had. No, we won't be changing top 4, Mikey. Let's be honest, mate. No, I understand what you mean, but I don't think so. And in terms of respecting players properly, he respects the 11 properly, doesn't he? And, maybe the 13. I think when you're below that, I think sometimes football players are a bit too pampered as well now. I think they, it's an old school mentality. Back in the day, we didn't have substitutes. You didn't have 20-man squads. You'd have the same team playing week in, week out. And maybe that's always been Moyes' style. I don't know. Without the likes of Orford, Marshall, and Murphy to make it, but none will get a chance under Moyes. All are fancied by Moyes. Moyes likes them all, so to speak. Orford's constantly on the bench. Marshall, as I said, they've had high hope. They were more happy about him getting signed to a new deal than where we went on loan, to be honest. George Earthy, I think he's one of those players who could be, he's very sort of Jack Grealish type player. And I think at the moment, we haven't got a space in the squad for that type of player. Not saying won't. If Paqueta move, for example, there could be. But I think under the current setup, for George to get some serious game time, there might need to be a different position for him. So someone like Dan Chester's, for example. Dan Chester's right back. Right, he's right back now. Well, they did play right wing for Salford the other week, but Potsy converted him to right back, and obviously traditionally was a right wing. He ain't going to get in the team ahead of Bowen, but as a right back, that could be really interesting. Unfortunately, Mbama hasn't shown enough quality. I agree. Our cups are kept in the spuds. It's empty. Is Ashby in it? Hasn't played much. I don't know, to be honest. How's the kid? That's Ashby. Earthy and Nightbridge are Premier League bound in 1 to 2 years. Need to go out on loan next season. Earthy, yeah, I think they both need to get as many of them out on loan. You see the effect the right loan has on someone like Freddie Potts, for example. Nightbridge, I think he's a great goalkeeper. I think next year, either Heggie comes back and makes that third place goalkeeper his own, and then the following year Fabianski won't be here, and maybe Heggie goes up to second choice with Jacob Nightbridge come up third. Nightbridge is going to be, I reckon he's going to be an England goalkeeper one day. He's just got it about him. You're totally right. The fact is they do play all different systems. So when the likes of Marshall come in, when the likes of Obama come in, they play a different system to what Moyes plays. So how can they haven't got the muscle memory of playing in a different position. That's the issue for me. I think they all have to play the same way. So when you do drop people in, they know that's my role. That's what I've got to do. That's my run. That's where I get picked up in the corners, and it's the same. Far from it. He's 19. I think the best for him would be to stay. I agree. He's doing. He is now. He wasn't for a while. He just come back. I'm still in a bank vault in Hatton Gardens. Interesting. Audio right to leave. Yeah, right. Didn't set the world alight, did they? Really. A lot of rumours saying Potter is bound as a new manager likes him. The reason we store him is because there's no trophy carrot for the club. True story. Ask Sean Wheatston. Interesting. Well, you never know. Really, let what reach top flight. Yeah, but yeah, pretty better then. I think we're in the right position financially, league for a structure. I agree. I think if it's a gamble. It's a gamble whatever you do, mate, to be honest. If Orient had pissed about with us, they could have had some of the youngsters on loan. If Orient, we'd have owned that stadium if it weren't for Orient and bloody what's name. Is it an issue that trade at different locations? Well, let's say it's an issue. It could be a hindrance. Back at back in the old days, Chadwell Heath, we did have them both playing at Chadwell Heath, so you could bring them in. I just think I think for me, it's an issue that they play different formations, different setups. But we know we have Mark is this pathway, director pathway, it was called. But I just think, I just think that's the main issue for me. Only West Ham has such a divisive possible into the season. Wins, but no contract doesn't suit. Stardom might go if stays. Whoop, indeed. So it's away. 100%. All levels need to be playing the same from under 18. I'd say even below that, mate. I'd say below that. I'd say under 15s, under 12s. So at least the best sides. You look at the best sort of academy sides, the likes of Ajax, Man City. They all play the same way from a very young age. So it is muscle memory. It's in their heads. So that's not one thing they have to worry about when they get promoted into the first team. How do we play this formation? They already know it. It's ingrained in them. All they need to concentrate on is their game. And that is the main issue for me. Is it me? Are we late? It's probably me. It's you. Serious question. Do you prefer bread pudding or I don't like maybe bread pudding out both. I'm not a massive pudding fan, to be honest. I believe Potter is waiting for the England job. Man United have had a youth player in the squad for over 10 years. Every squad, no matter what. So have we. Got Ben Johnson. And before that, we had Declan Rice and Ben Johnson. And before that, we had Grady Dinkana. And, we have, but and for me, as I said, again, statistics. You can look at everything. David Moyes has given 16, 17 academy players the first team debut, but only one of them has been in the Premier League. And that's the issue, I think, for a lot of people. And the fact is, people go, oh, it's because, we played them in dead rubber European games. European games. We got into Europe and then we could do that. So that's the trouble. You can look at everything in terms of statistics. But, we've had plenty of academy. But it's whether they once you make, I think you're not an established academy graduate until you've hit 50 appearances, I reckon. 50 league appearances. Yes, very true. Yeah, very true. And unfortunately, but again, a thing of that, Peter, is a necessity. They are down to the bare bones. They've had to play all the kids. Chelsea had to play kids because they couldn't buy anyone. As soon as they could buy someone, they're not getting, the academy boys aren't getting a look in. They spent £1 billion on their side. They're not going to be putting 18-year-old kid in when they can. I went to West Ham, Chelsea under 21s at Rush Green. They had a £16 million player playing up front for them. David Washington from Santos. It's when it's using the academy when it's needed. That's the trouble. Not rather than making it a process. And I think that's an issue for the Premier League to sort out. Could be managed better, to be honest. Yep. Sometimes need to change in future. Yep. I did a savoury bread pudding. Isn't a bad record. Very good you coming through to the. Yeah, we have. Do you think Liverpool will come in for Bowen if Salah leaves? I think they'll be more likely to get try and get Caduce, I think, in the Bowen. Lots of clubs shit themselves at the possible points deduction now and in the near future. Totally right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go. As I said, I'll be back in a couple of hours with Hammer's headlines. And then after that, we'll be doing the Academy show late this afternoon. So if you like what we do, don't forget to give it a like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, loving all the comments. And as I said, until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, enjoy the win. Come on, you Irons.